sun. Choose a wife from among the flowers. Take your time searching for the right one. Look at her when she walks by. She catches everybody's eye. If you try to look away, she'll just smile and keep you looking her way. True love doesn't yearn for power. Instead it's patient, true and kind. Beauty's in the face of flowers. Deeper still, it's in the mind. Turning heads. Chica's always turning heads.
And there you have it. That's Chica by Tracy Morris, who's here to chat with us right now. Tracy, come on in and say hello.
Hello, how are you?
We're doing just great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
And-
Happy to be with you.
And we are so happy, too. This is the first time we've talked to someone in the Middle East. We've talked to people around the world, and I understand you're over there in Jordan right now.
That's correct.
And you say it's a lovely place.
Well, it's not snowing, so that's a plus.
Well, that would definitely be envious to our friends in the northern part of the country. As a matter of fact, in some of the south, they got some snow down near you up in northern Florida, didn't they, John?
In northern Florida, they did, but I'm about 400 miles south of that. So, South Florida is kind of a different state and a different world altogether.
That's a fact. And I remember when I was in radio in Tampa, it was probably, I don't know, way back long ago in a galaxy far away, maybe around 74. We had an early morning snow flurry in Tampa. I remember getting the kids out of bed, but they could see snow. But it's like I said, long ago and far away. Tracy, tell us a little bit about your career and your music.
Oh, my career. Well, this is kind of a new thing. We retired from all the other things that we did in our past, such as teaching English, being secretaries, flipping houses. And so now we really get to spend our time doing what our passion is, which is music.
Awesome.
Everybody has the luxury.
True. And so, it's good. It's good that you got your life arranged so that you could do it, because I'm a firm believer in people should go to whatever extreme is necessary to be able to do what they enjoy and enjoy life. It shouldn't all be about drudgery and work.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, this is really the passion that my husband and I both have had since we were quite young, but we just didn't have the opportunity till now. So we're going full bore. That's why we've managed to make 2 albums in the last year.
Awesome. And some great music there, too. The feeling comes through. You can tell that you're enjoying what you're doing. Now, this, let's see, the 2 tracks we're playing today are from the second album?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And the album title is?
Your Love is Making Me High.
I've heard that name before. As a matter of fact, that's the track we're going to be playing here in a few minutes. Now, have you been doing any touring, any performing?
No, I haven't. There's not a whole lot of call for it here exactly where I'm at.
Right.
But I may in the future. I was just trying to get some original music recorded first.
Okay, now let me ask you a slightly more personal question. You and your husband are obviously enjoying it over there, and you have the capacity to enjoy your passion rather than having to work at a profession per se. Are you planning to come back to the States, or are you going to stay over there, or would you rather not answer?
Well, the future remains to be seen. If we have some touring opportunities, well, then definitely. Otherwise, I'm really not certain yet. We've been able to enjoy life on a smaller budget here and pour all of our resources into getting the equipment that we needed so we could do what we wanted to do.
That is really awesome. It's something I think everyone should consider. I know I have regretted not having traveled internationally. I would have liked to have, but didn't ever happen. And I probably could have re-engineered my life to do it if I'd applied myself to it. John Bon Jovial, you're sitting there awfully quiet.
Well, I've just been enjoying the conversation. And one of the things, Tracy, that I like to ask all of our guests when they come on, and more of an ethereal, spiritual question than anything else, but what is the inspiration that has guided you in creating the music that you have, your muse, if you will?
I think mostly it centers around love.
Love makes the world go around. All you need is love. I think a famous British guy said that.
And it also makes for good music.
Sure does.
Well, there's love for your passion. There's love for someone in your life, maybe a couple of someones, especially when you have children. There's love for God. There's love for yourself to do what you need to do and take care of yourself sometimes. It's
True. Now, while we're talking about you're going from the U.S. to Jordan and your experiences there. What are your roots? Where are you from in the States?
I am from a little place just east of Dallas called Rockwall, Texas.
Okay. Alrighty. That I have actually heard of that. I've had a few connections down in Texas, and I have heard that name. I've never been there. I've been through Texas a few times. Didn't get to spend a lot of time there, but it's one big state. I remember the first time I drove through it, east to west. I didn't think we were ever going to get out of West Texas. It just kept going. But,
it's the smallest county, so if you blink, you might miss it.
I've been through a few places like that too, and some really wonderful spots. John turned me on to a place up in northeastern California called Lone Pine, which is a movie production capital. I mean, they have been filming there since the early 1920s, and it is just amazing country. But originally, when I first went up there, it was one of those towns where if you blinked, you missed it. It was almost like the welcome and sorry to see you leaving signs were on the same signpost. So I know what you mean there. Now, how long have you been over in Jordan?
For almost 8 years.
Ah, okay. That's you're definitely firmly settled there. Then it's not a new experience by any stretch of the imagination. And how does
move? You never know.
That's true. You don't. How does this affect? Obviously, it has worked for your creation of your music and everything. How does this affect your production and the dissemination, getting your music out to people?
Well, thank God for technology. We've used the internet a lot to connect with people, and so that's probably the main way to get it out. As far as production, I never thought I'd play bass guitar. So there's a lot of things you have to do because it's necessity. We've had to use a lot of resources that we never would have dreamed of otherwise.
I can understand that, and we have a recurring feature on the show where we have guests from various parts of the music industry. We've had record industry experts and pros. We've had producers, engineers, we've had disc jockeys, we've had all kinds of people come in and discuss what it takes to make a career in music today. One of the things that we discussed on many occasions was the double-edged sword of modern technology, where it pertains to recording. You have an advantage that has never been available in the past, to be able to coordinate with people around the world to get your music out to people around the world. As a matter of fact, we've had a couple of groups on who have done full production with 4 or 5 members that have never met. They've done it all through the internet. One band does it all on an iPhone. They call themselves the iBand. So that is a good thing. The downside is you don't have the dissemination capabilities of a major record label behind you. So the hard part is getting your music played, even more than getting it out to the people. You can get it out to the people online, but getting it played and exposed, especially by radio stations, is a heck of a lot tougher.
Yeah, that's been tricky, but I don't think even if you're in the States, you can necessarily accomplish that. It's not like people get signed by a record label after their first concert.
Absolutely. But that's another point that you just brought up there. You don't have the advantage of doing a lot of touring to get people into you, get them to know you, and get hooked on your music.
No, but we're not that far from Europe. We could do some tours there if there were a call for it, and that would help.
Yeah, we've had several artists who have toured. As a matter of fact, we had a blues man out of New York City who just moved, he and his wife, to Europe. They're now living over in Germany, so I'm familiar with that too. Now, your next tune we're going to play here in a couple of minutes is the title tune of the album, Your Love Makes Me High. Tell us about the song and the album concept.
Oh, it kind of just happened. You know, my husband put the music in. He recorded all the music, and I went in and listened and said, okay, what is this song telling me? And that's kind of what came out of it.
Often that's a good thing.
So that's kind of, I mean, we've done things the other way before, which is probably more normal, where you play the chords in with the guitar, the piano, and then you come up with the lyrics and build it that way. We just did it a different way around and kind of started at the back first, and it's worked fine. So I heard certain things, and that's what came out.
It does. I know a lot of times artists will sit and try to create music, and then there are other times when you just get an inspiration. I know a couple of artists who keep a recorder by their bedside, so when they wake up with a brainstorm in the middle of the night, they can record it immediately and then be able to go to work on it the next day. So I can understand where that happens. And you have to work both sides of the fence on that. There are times when you probably do sit down intentionally to try and write some music, and then the occasional brainstorm where something just hits you and it works for you. And it's apparently worked for you, because I've listened to your music, and like this next song we're going to play, and I think I tripped over the title the last time I mentioned it, so I want to get it right. It's Your Love Is Making Me High. Not to be confused with the old Jackie Wilson, Your Love Is Getting Me Higher, or whatever it was. But you can feel your feeling in the music listening to it, and that's always a good thing, because if you feel it, the listeners do too.
Well, I hope so. That's the goal. That's the goal, to convey a feeling, and the feeling is so much more than the words can convey by themselves.
It is
important.
Yes.
It's emotional aspect.
Yes, it is.
So I was probably cooking dinner when it came to me. I was probably chopping onions or something.
Oftentimes that happens. Your mind is somewhere else. I know I have that in some of my creative moments, or even when I'm doing something simple like crossword puzzles or something. You get involved in doing something else, and the answer you were looking for just all of a sudden appears out of nowhere. Strange things with the human mind, but they seem to be working for you, and we're so happy that you're having a good time and enjoying what you're doing. Like I said, life is entirely too short not to get the enjoyment out of it that you can. And we thank you so much for coming and spending time with us here, sharing a little bit of your story, and we hope you keep in touch and that we hear back from you in the future. Maybe you'll come back and see us when you've got some more new music.
Anytime. Thank you, David. Thank you, John.
Oh, you're
awesome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tracy Morris, ladies and gentlemen, Your Love Is Making Me High.